Today, we begin a 3-day journey to make the famous Madeiran-style garlic and wine pork. We'll take the opportunity to talk about what happens when you marinate meat with wine. Now, the citrus in our piri-piri chicken recipe rapidly tenderized the meat by breaking down surface protein. The vinegar in our adobo recipe firmed up the surface, helping the meat maintain its shape during braising. The enzyme in the yogurt in our Persian-style chicken helped flavor penetrate deeper and gently tenderized over time. Our star of the show today, the wine, with enough time, does all of the above, but in a milder and more balanced manner. First, the surface. Wine has a moderate acidity, but over time, we're talking about 2 to 3 days for Carne de Vinha delish, it begins to slowly firm up the surface, slowing water loss during braising. The alcohol in the wine dissolves fat-soluble flavors. In our case, the deep aromatic complexity of the crushed garlic, the clove-like, eucalyptus-like notes from the dried bay leaves, the sharpness and depth from the crushed dried chilies, and, to a lesser extent, the sharpness of the black peppercorn. It wasn't a fluke the Madeirans chose those ingredients. It was genius. And for their variation, we're using dry white wine, not oaked, not fortified, to not clash with our supporting act, the white wine vinegar. We've covered vinegar in the past, but specifically for this recipe, it drops the pH to the ideal level. It further tightens the surface, so the pork ends up tender, but not falling apart. It helps to slow bacterial growth, which was important in the olden days, and it brings the tang to balance the richness of the pork. We salt at about 0.6% to the weight of the pork to give us leeway during the braising process. At least 1, ideally 3 days, in the fridge, in a non-reactive container to avoid metallic taste. Cover to prevent the wine from oxidizing and for your fridge to not smell like garlic. After 3 days in the fridge, the surface has taken on this ham-like color and you can smell the deep aromas. We're ready to make a stew. Moderate heat, we melt some lard. You can use any high smoke or neutral oil for this. Now we lightly brown our pork. If you want to go the extra mile, pat the surface dry. But understand, handling sour pork might not be everyone's cup of tea. So as long as you don't crowd the pan, let the heat do the job for you. And we're not looking for the deep caramelized flavors like a French stew. Just a bit of browning to give us a bit of meatiness and to render out some fat. You still want to let the wine and the vinegar to shine. Today we're using pork shoulder for a balance of collagen and fat. You can use ham hock, you can use pork ribs, you can even use pork belly. That's all we want. Once everything's beautifully lightly golden, marinate back in to cook and to continue to impart flavors. Bring this back to a boil, and we first let this simmer uncovered for 5 to 10 minutes to cook out the rawness of the alcohol and to mellow the vinegar. Once the vinegar has mellowed, and you should be able to smell the bay leaves by now, lid on, low heat, we let this simmer for about an hour for the collagen to break down and the meat to soften. After an hour, we have something very beautiful. You can reduce as desired, and whatever you don't finish today will make the best sandwich tomorrow.